The clock all the way down. They're bleeding it right down to half a minute. 2nd and goal. Baldwin sets up on the left. Play clock at 5. Pass is intercepted at the goal line by Malcolm Butler. Unreal. Malcolm Butler, who almost made the phenomenal play that wound up in Percy's arms. There are flags on the field for a celebration. Amazing. Butler, a rookie free agent out of West Alabama.
During the highlight, you said the worst call in Super Bowl history.
And I didn't stutter. That was the worst play call in Super Bowl history. Then the second demotion, that was the worst decision by a quarterback. You have Marshawn Lynch in the backfield.
According to these players and this team, as great as they are, our identity is about the Legion of Boom, our physicality, Marshawn Lynch. That's who we are. So in the end, you're Pete Carroll. You win against who you are.
And I'm sorry, but I can't believe the call.
Me neither.
I cannot believe the call. You've got Marshawn Lynch in the backfield. You've got a guy that's been borderline unstoppable in this part of the field. I can't believe the call.
There's so many different things we could have done throughout the game, I think, to just solidify but potential win for us, but didn't happen for us today. Tom Brady, you got to give a lot of credit to him.
But he can get pretty arrogant. He can get pretty full of himself. I believe that in the end, he saw an opportunity to take a young quarterback that he chose in the 3rd round and said, watch how great this kid can be.
Mm-hmm. It just was the worst play that could ever happen, you know?
February 1st, 2015. Super Bowl 49 in Phoenix, Arizona. The site of one of the greatest Super Bowls of all time and one of the most infamous plays in the history of the National Football League. That pick. But how much does anyone actually remember about that infamous Super Bowl? Tell me this. Who was the intended receiver for the infamous Malcolm Butler interception? Did you guess famed Seattle wide receiver Tyler Lockett?
Surveys, nowhere to go, and back in the end zone.
Sorry, that's wrong. It was the lesser-known receiver Ricardo Lockett.
No relation.
Tyler Lockett wasn't drafted until the 2015 season, after Super Bowl 49. So, maybe, there were some other things you don't remember as well either. Why don't we take a look?
The Patriots begin the game testing the waters, but having a very clear game plan in mind. Utilize the running backs. Most plays on their first possession are runs up the middle with eventual 3-time Super Bowl champion LeGarrette Blount, as well as swing passes and screen passes to receiving back Shane Vereen. The reason for this is obvious. The New England Patriots are playing against the vaunted Legion of Boom. Cornerbacks Richard Sherman and Byron Maxwell, and safeties Earl Thomas and Cam Chancellor, each of them hard-hitting and disciplined tacklers who are all a threat to intercept any given pass. Stay away from them and you have a chance to move down the field. This puts extra pressure on the nickel corner Jeremy Lane and the linebacking core of Bobby Wagner, Cliff Averill, and KJ Wright, who now have to run sideline to sideline on each play to chase Shane Vereen and the slot receiver phenomenon Julian Edelman, but also take the constant hits from the wrecking ball that was LeGarrette Blount.
The first drive results in a punt, but the second drive brings the Patriots down to the red zone, where the single most important play in Super Bowl 49 actually takes place. Pass rusher Michael Bennett finally applies pressure to Tom Brady, who is forced to throw the ball away into the waiting arms of Jeremy Lane, who breaks free and threatens to be a pick six for the first score of the game. Julian Edelman is able to catch up, going low for the last chance tackle. Jeremy Lane ends up tearing his ACL on the hit and tries to brace himself for the fall with his hand, breaking his wrist. Lane saves his team from giving up 6 points on the play, but the impact of this play ends up dooming the Seahawks. On the first play of the Patriots' next possession following the injury, Jeremy Lane is replaced in the nickel by inexperienced defensive player number 27, Thorold Simon. Tom Brady and the Patriots target him immediately, running a screen to Danny Amendola in motion directly to Simon's side. During the drive, the Patriots directly target Simon 5 more times to take advantage of his inexperience. Using this strategy, the Patriots march down to the red zone and target Brandon LaFell covered by Thorold Simon on a quick slant for a touchdown.
The Seahawks have the chance to answer with 4 minutes remaining in the half. They go to the play-action pass, targeting Chris Matthews down the sideline for his first catch of his career, down at the 11. From there, Marshawn Lynch is given the ball on each play, scoring on the 3rd attempt from the 3-yard line. When the Patriots spot Simon back on the field during their next possession, they go right back at him, running a jet sweep with Julian Edelman exploiting Simon, who can't shed his block. It results in a first down when Brady forces Cliff Averill to jump off sides. The Patriots have continued with the spread look ever since Simon got back onto the field, and easily get back to the red zone, exploiting a one-on-one matchup with Rob Gronkowski against linebacker KJ Wright for a touchdown.
The Seahawks make an offensive adjustment on the following possession, substituting in Robert Turbin at running back, who immediately hits a 13-yard run, the longest rushing play for the Seahawks so far. The following play, Russell Wilson tops that with a 15-yard rush on a read option play, juking Pro Bowler Jamie Collins. 2 plays later, Ricardo Lockett breaks away from a face mask penalty, gaining 23 crucial yards so the Seahawks can get into field goal range, but they choose to stay aggressive and run another play with only 6 seconds to go at the 11-yard line. It pays off, hitting Chris Matthews on a quick throw to the corner for a touchdown to tie the game at 14, just before halftime.
The Seattle offense has finally found its spark, targeting Chris Matthews, who has been giving the Patriots defenders fits all day. The Seahawks have the momentum and the ball following the halftime kick. 2 months before being signed by the Seahawks, Chris Matthews was working at a Foot Locker in Canada. But that momentum stalls when the running game fails to punch it into the end zone, as the Patriots obviously made a halftime adjustment to stifle Marshawn Lynch. The Seahawks are forced to kick a field goal for the 17-14 lead.
On the first Patriots possession of the second half, the Seahawks try to keep Simon off the field, once again relying on their 3-linebacker formation of Bobby Wagner, KJ Wright, and Bruce Irvin. The Patriots go with 3 wide receivers and a tight end out wide, forcing Simon into the game to cover Brandon LaFell once again. They use the spread offense to target Cam Chancellor, who was unable to keep up with 5-time Pro Bowler and 4-time first-team All-Pro tight end Rob Gronkowski. They delay the comeback by intercepting Tom Brady, as 9-time Pro Bowler Bobby Wagner jumps the route and steals possession away. Cliff Averill is injured on the play with a concussion and never returns to the game, removing the option of the Seahawks' successful 3-linebacker defense.
Now on offense, Seattle continues to exploit the Chris Matthews mismatch, hitting him for 9 yards on the first play of the new possession after the interception. A few plays later, Marshawn Lynch with open space runs for a first down to the 4-yard line, but his next run attempt in short yardage gains only a yard. The Patriots' strategy is holding Marshawn Lynch at bay. Now on the 3-yard line, Russell Wilson uses play action, his most effective weapon in the game, causing the defense to overcommit to Marshawn Lynch, leaving Doug Baldwin Jr. wide open on the right side of the end zone for a touchdown and his first catch of the game. At this point in history, no team had ever overcome a 10-point deficit in the Super Bowl and won.
Thorold Simon is forced back into service to start the next Patriots possession with Cliff Averill injured. Brady targets him immediately as Julian Edelman, with his superior route running, makes several yards of space between them down the left sideline for 17 yards. Brady targets Thorold Simon on the next play, but overthrows his receiver Brandon LaFell on the left sideline. In what could be one of the most consequential plays of the game, linebacker Bruce Irvin, instead of sacking Brady and likely causing a fumble, bafflingly stops his pass rush for the left tackle beat, allowing Tom Brady to complete to Julian Edelman for 11 yards. Luckily for the Seahawks, the Patriots are forced to punt after a miscommunication with Simon pushed to free safety.
After the punt, Wilson goes right back to the play-action game, going deep to Ricardo Lockett at the 45-yard line. This is where the Super Bowl changes entirely. Offensive coordinator Darrell Bevell, for whatever reason, abandons the play-action game entirely and converts Russell Wilson to a pure pocket passer. Chris Matthews is not targeted on any of these plays, and the Seahawks are forced to punt, leaving all wondering about the possibilities of the would-be sack fumble just a few plays earlier. The Patriots go 3 and out on their next possession, now in the fourth quarter, with time quickly running out.
When the Seahawks regain the ball, Chris Matthews is still not on the field, and the Seahawks stay in the empty set. Nobody in the backfield to pick up a pass rusher, and nobody to run play action with. Russell Wilson is sacked, and the Seahawks go 3 and out, with their momentum stalling. The Patriots have the ball back with 12:10 remaining in the game, and Tom Brady is sacked staring down Brandon LaFell, covered by Harold Simon. Brady recovers and picks on Simon once again. Shane Vereen takes a screen pass for a first down. 3-time All-Pro and 7-time Pro Bowler Earl Thomas hits Vereen out of bounds, causing a 15-yard late hit penalty. Tom Brady goes straight back to Simon, and for the first time in the entire game, Simon breaks up what would have been a touchdown pass intended for Brandon LaFell. LaFell gets away with offensive pass interference, his hand on Simon's left bicep, keeping him from catching what would have been another interception. It is not called by the referees, and the Patriots continue their drive. Brady uses play action, combined with Julian Edelman's route running, to cause Harold Simon to bite and slip on the fake, leaving Edelman open. Edelman, however, drops an easy touchdown pass, as Tom Brady overthrew him. Amendola scores on the following play, covered by Earl Thomas, who is completely boxed out on the play. The Seahawks receive the kickoff, and Chris Matthews finally returns to the offense. He is, however, not targeted. Instead, Malcolm Butler trips Ricardo Lockett on what should have been a first down catch. Pass interference, yet again, is not called. The Seahawks go 3 and out once again when Marshawn Lynch stops his wheel route, letting the pass intended for him sail out of bounds. Brady gets the ball back with 6:14 left, targeting Shane Vereen, covered by Harold Simon, who plays the coverage far too deep. On the next play, Edelman goes in motion, showing Brady that the Seahawks are still in man coverage. Edelman catches the pass for 9 yards, covered yet again by Harold Simon. The Patriots continue to exploit mismatches across the field until the Seahawks finally switch to a zone concept. Brandon LaFell finds a sweet spot in Harold Simon's zone for an easy first down. 2 plays later, the Patriots run the exact same route as the previous drive, but this time Brady doesn't even bother faking the play action, staring Edelman down the entire time. Edelman jukes Harold Simon once again, this time catching the go-ahead touchdown pass.
The Seahawks return to the failing empty set and Chris Matthews again not on the field. This time, Lynch continues his route and catches the ball for a first down at the 49-yard line. The Seahawks stay committed to the spread offense and keep their drive alive with a clutch third down throw to Ricardo Lockett, and then to Jermaine Kearse in what should have been the play of the game. The play is immediately compared to the David Tyree helmet catch, the most famous catch in Super Bowl history, also against the Patriots. Fans begin to feel that fate is about to intervene on behalf of the Seahawks.
Just over 1 minute left to go in the game. Marshawn Lynch is given a lead blocker, but fails to reach the end zone. Had he gotten into the end zone, the Patriots would have needed a field goal just to tie. Unfortunately for the Seahawks and all of their fans, the worst possible thing happens on the following play.
Play clock at 5. Pass is intercepted at the goal line by Malcolm Butler. Unreal. Malcolm Butler, who almost made the phenomenal play that wound up in Kearse's arms. There are flags on the field for a celebration. Amazing. Butler, a rookie free agent out of West Alabama.
Browner boxes out Jermaine Kearse, who was intending to box out Butler on the route combination. Ricardo Lockett goes on a quick slant for what would be the game-winning touchdown, but the pass is intercepted by Malcolm Butler, who was tipped off to the play by Brandon Browner. Browner played for the Seahawks the year before, but was suspended for Super Bowl 48, where the Seahawks defeated the Denver Broncos in New Jersey, but still received the championship ring from them.
Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll were left largely to blame for the loss. Russell Wilson is now the backup in Pittsburgh, and Pete Carroll intends to return to his alma mater, USC, to be a professor. Marshawn Lynch retired in 2015 but returned in 2017 to play for the Oakland Raiders. He eventually returned to the Seahawks for one more year in 2019 for a playoff run, but were defeated by the Green Bay Packers in the divisional round. Lynch had 12 carries for 26 yards. It was his final football game. Undrafted rookie Malcolm Butler won Super Bowl MVP, went on to play for the Tennessee Titans and Arizona Cardinals practice squad, before returning to the New England Patriots squad and retiring in 2022.
Jeremy Lane returned to football after his brutal injury, but retired in 2017. Ricardo Lockett never had the chance to redeem himself, as on November 1st, 2015, he was tragically injured on an illegal blindside block by Dallas Cowboys safety Jeff Heath on a routine special teams play, breaking his neck and nearly ending his life. Harold Simon, forced into service after Jeremy Lane's injury, was targeted or intended to be targeted a staggering 17 times over the course of Super Bowl 49, 40% of his total snaps played, massively eclipsing any other defensive player. He made 0 tackles and is credited with a single pass breakup and surrendered 2 touchdowns and allowed a nearly perfect total passer rating for his total 2 playoff appearances of 146.9. The combined career opposing quarterback passer rating against Jeremy Lane was only 59.1. Simon retired after the 2017 season after being cut by the then Washington Redskins practice squad. Malcolm Butler's interception ended up winning the game, but Jeremy Lane's interception and subsequent injury, combined with the abandonment of play action as a strategy, Chris Matthews as a receiver, and Bruce Irvin's hesitation, Cliff Avrill's concussion, along with the multiple missed penalties throughout the game, played a far larger role over the course of the night. But in the end, it's really your call.
you.